How would you feel if internet trolls convinced the world that you're dead, or if you were sued by your own mother? Needless to say, the cast of Pawn Stars have dealt with all brands of tragedy over the years. Operating a pawn shop certainly comes with a hefty dose of drama. As seen in the series, some customers can get extremely heated when they feel insulted or slanted by an offer from the Pawn Stars. Such was the case back in 2012 when one sore customer became aggressive towards the staff. As first revealed by the TV show Right This Minute, Vietnam veteran Daniel Callahan eventually sued the old man Richard and Rick Harrison, stating that they put him in a chokehold and threw him out of the store.
Isn't that excessive?
While news and gossip sites quickly began spreading the story, Corey Big Hoss Harrison eventually clarified the lawsuit, explaining that his father and grandfather were not to blame for the violent removal of Callahan. He told the Las Vegas Review-Journal they were never in the room with him. The Harrison son went on to say that though he didn't witness the incident in question, he would understand the veteran being thrown out of the store. He had been, quote, absolutely irate with a weapon in his hand and 4,000 people waiting and demanding to see the owner. In the end, the elder Harrisons were on the hook for the $20,000 lawsuit against the 62-year-old war vet. One of the most entertaining elements of Pawn Stars is a comprehensive history explained about individual pieces of memorabilia. Learning about how a coin was minted or the expressive techniques used by certain artists is what draws us in and keeps us invested throughout each episode. And while the cast of Pawn Stars have no problem admitting when they don't know something, but will dutifully call in an expert, it seems as if they all have a wealth of knowledge about history and politics, especially Rick Harrison, who seemingly knows something about pretty much everything. While it's been revealed that Pawn Stars is scripted, we don't blame anyone for scoffing at such a statement. But that tidbit aside, it still goes without saying that Rick has a lot of experience in the business and has picked up a lot of knowledge along the way. What a lot of fans might not know is that he never completed high school. As such, the central Pawn Star is much more of an entrepreneur than a student. After dropping out, Harrison started a lucrative business selling knockoff luxury bags. With a natural savvy, Harrison was able to go into business alongside his father, and the pair jointly built the gold and silver pawn shop from the ground up. Austin Russell, better known as Chumlee, is the standout fan-favorite cast member of Pawn Stars thanks to his delightful bantering with the Harrison family. Starting in the series as a comic foil, or more accurately, the village idiot, Chumlee has grown to become an expert negotiator himself, often dealing in sneakers and collectibles. Additionally, Russell has become quite the entrepreneur himself, opening his own popular candy store across the street from Gold and Silver in Las Vegas. Sadly, it hasn't all been smooth sailing for Chumlee. The resident jokester of Pawn Stars tragically lost his father weeks before his hit series debuted on History. Beyond that, in 2016, the reality icon got in hot water with the authorities, resulting in some serious charges. Investigating an unsubstantiated sexual assault charge, police raided the reality star's home and uncovered a hoard of drugs and a gun. Pleading guilty in court, Russell narrowly avoided jail time and was instead sentenced to 3 years of probation and counseling. Although the staff and management may be the icons of Pawn Stars, there's an assortment of recurring guests that fans of the series have grown to love, the experts. Called in to make assessments on some of the most glorious prizes to enter the gold and silver pawn shop, the cavalry of specialists and the Harrison's vintage Rolodex has heaps of expertise in unique fields. Experts like antiquarians Mark Hall Patton and Rebecca Romney have become fan-favorite characters on the reality series. Meanwhile, appraisers like Rick Dale and Danny Coker became so popular that they earned their own spin-off shows. However, there is one expert who hasn't popped up on the series for some time, and for a reason you might not expect. Johnny Jimenez Jr. was one of the Pawn Stars' regular consultants when it came to vintage toys. The professional toy store owner helped Chumlee and the Harrisons come to terms on a number of deals throughout the years. What many fans do not know is that Jimenez was arrested in 2015 for allegedly knocking his girlfriend to the ground. According to TMZ, video surveillance showed the toy shop owner pulling his extremely intoxicated partner to the ground by her purse strap.
When police arrived, Jimenez told them that he was trying to get her inside the restaurant to eat because she was drunk.
While his girlfriend remained unresponsive for several minutes, Jimenez claimed that he never intended for her to be knocked over. Jimenez told KTNV, "I'm really disappointed that the police here could not get the facts before they put someone in handcuffs." Although he may be the world's greatest negotiator when it comes to priceless pieces of art or forgotten relics of the past, Rick Harrison hasn't been as fortunate when it comes to relationships. The spotter of the gold and silver pawn shop has had multiple marriages resulting in several children. Notably, his co-star Corey Big Hoss Harrison and his brother Adam were born to Rick's first wife, Kim. In his second marriage, Rick welcomed his third son, Jack Harrison. By far, Rick Harrison's most public marriage was to Deanna Burdett. The pair tied the knot in 2013 with Counting Cars host Danny Coker officiating the ceremony and Chumlee serving as the ring bearer. Sadly, the pair quietly and mutually separated about 7 years later in 2020. Perhaps unsurprisingly, the Pawn Star did not remain single for long, as he married his fourth wife, Amanda Palmer, in 2021. While he's always been one of the most entertaining facets of Pawn Stars, Chumlee has been the center of many rumors throughout the years. Most prominently, back in 2014, fans were briefly in mourning when the reality television personality was the victim of a death hoax. Astute fans will notice how much Chumlee's weight can fluctuate from season to season. The Pawning sidekick tried to lose a lot of weight around 2013, telling the Las Vegas Review-Journal, "I'm going to the gym 6 days a week. I'm eating right, well-balanced diet. I drink a juice smoothie every morning. I'm making sure I'm eating my vegetables and staying away from the red meat." Given that his father died of pancreatic cancer at 54, it's understandable that Chumlee is worried about his health. Unfortunately, the abrupt change in weight resulted in a hoax that Chumlee suffered fatal heart problems. The comedic personality took to X, formerly known as Twitter, to relieve his saddened fans, saying, "May we live long, rich forever." In more recent years, Chumlee underwent gastric sleeve surgery, helping him to lose over 160 pounds.
Well done, sir. Bravo.
For most of the 21 seasons of Pawn Stars, there have been only a handful of main cast members, typically limited to the Harrison family and Chumlee. However, devout fans of the series will recall a brief period back in 2012 when the boys were joined by a female regular, Olivia Black. Fans quickly took a liking to her, as did on-screen personalities Corey and Chumlee. Sadly, Black only remained with the series for 13 episodes, leaving many wondering what happened to the pawn shop employee. Shockingly, it was later revealed that Black was canned from the series after nude photos of her surfaced from her time before joining the series. Reportedly, the former model was only fired from appearing on the show, and Rick Harrison had no intention of letting her go. He told Fox News, "I never fired her. She's out doing her own thing now. It's just the production company did not want her working there anymore. What she does in her personal life is her business." Regardless, Black was advised to fire back by filing a lawsuit against the production company. Left Field Pictures and an online petition called for her to be rehired. However, she eventually left the shop of her own accord and returned to her modeling career, and has done quite well since, likely thanks in part to her temporary reality fame. It's hard to guess whether Pawn Stars would have ever been as successful without its most disgruntled cast member, Richard Old Man Harrison. Co-owner and operator of the world-famous Gold and Silver Pawn Shop, the Old Man is recognized as the man who started the family business. Throughout the series, his bitter attitude, especially towards Chumlee, created some of the show's most laughable moments. Additionally, the Old Man was, at times, the most hardened negotiator of the whole crew. Tragically, Pawn Stars has not been the same since 2018 after Richard Harrison passed away.
It's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same without the Old Man being there.
The Navy veteran is understandably missed by his family, friends, and fans, resulting in a special episode of Pawn Stars titled A Treasure Remembered, which featured highlights and interviews about the longtime reality television personality. Still, nothing may be as touching as a social media post from his son, Rick Harrison. He wrote on Instagram, "Today I lost a friend, a father, a teacher, and so much more. The Old Man lost his long battle with Parkinson's this morning. Love you, Dad. See you on the other side." On top of the tragedy of Richard Harrison's death, it ended up causing some drama behind the scenes. Survived by 3 sons, the Old Man shockingly opted to omit one of his children from his will. While Rick Harrison was left in charge of his father and Pawn Stars co-star's estate, the remainder of his fortune was passed on to his surviving wife and 3rd child, leaving 1 child without a cent. Court records obtained by celebrity gossip website The Blast show that the surprising omission came in 2017, a short time before the elder Harrison's passing. In the update to his will, Harrison allegedly expressed his love for his son Christopher, but cut him out of the will regardless. Christopher might be unknown to some fans since he has never appeared on Pawn Stars. There is no explanation why Christopher Harrison was purposefully left out of the will. However, it did not seem to come as a shock to the Harrisons. Rick Harrison told the Las Vegas Review-Journal, "The family had previously discussed this information and it is a private matter." Unfortunately, the Harrison family drama only worsened after everything was said and done with Richard Old Man Harrison's estate. In the aftermath, Rick Harrison was sued by his aging mother, who said that he was in breach of contract regarding the state of his father's finances. Joanne Harrison was married to the Old Man for 58 years, and when the elder Harrison passed away, she alleged that she inherited a 49% share of the pawn shop. However, in her 2022 lawsuit, Joanne claimed that her son had inadequately provided her with documentation of the store's finances. Worse, she alleged that Rick tricked her into signing over her 51% share of the company after she was hospitalized years prior. Additionally, she alleged that over $500,000 of Old Man Harrison's estate had gone unaccounted for. While the matter is ongoing, Rick Harrison has denied any wrongdoing. He told the Las Vegas Review-Journal, "The allegations are false. I think that my 81-year-old mother is being manipulated by others for their personal gain." Still, less than a month later, Joanne Harrison filed for a temporary restraining order against her celebrity son. The world-famous Gold and Silver Pawn Shop has always been a family business, and even with Richard Harrison passing away, the family still operates the storefront while continuing to film new episodes of Pawn Stars. Maintaining the father-son connection, Corey Big Hoss Harrison loyally maintains his position beside his father, making deals and buying treasures. Unfortunately, Corey has had his share of tribulations alongside the rest of the Pawn Stars cast. The young Harrison has been through a pair of divorces himself, most recently from his second wife, Karina Harrison, in 2018. Beyond that, the reality television star got into trouble with the law in September 2023 when he was arrested for driving under the influence of alcohol in Las Vegas. He was pulled over after being seen swerving his vehicle between lanes, and the Pawn Star failed a field sobriety test and was taken into custody. Harrison told the Las Vegas Review-Journal, "I suck at playing Simon Says. You're obviously nervous every time you get pulled over. It's not a normal thing for me. It's stand on this leg, stand on that leg, walk in a straight line." 2024 hasn't been kind to the Harrison family so far. Adam Harrison, son of Rick Harrison, sadly passed away in January as a result of a fentanyl overdose at the age of 39. Brother to Corey Harrison, Adam never shared his family's ambition to be on television, although he reportedly worked at the pawn shop for some time before becoming a plumber. Lovingly given the nickname Wax, Adam's death understandably hit the Harrison family hard. A statement from the Harrisons read, "Our family is extremely saddened by the death of Adam. We ask for privacy as we grieve his loss." Meanwhile, the family took to Instagram to share their heartbreak. Rick Harrison wrote, "You will always be in my heart. I love you, Adam." Corey also took to Instagram and shared a picture of him and his brother as children. Rick told TMZ on January 22, 2024, "The fentanyl crisis in this country must be taken more seriously."
What's in this vial is 2 milligrams. That is a potentially lethal dose of fentanyl.
If you or anyone you know needs help with addiction issues, help is available. Visit the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration website or contact SAMHSA's national helpline at 1-800-662-HELP 4357.